Hello, everyone. In this episode, we have another young Indian with us, part of the Voice of the Young series. Today, right now, we have with us Pratik. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Pratik.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me here. Yeah, as I said, I've been following your work for the past 2 years. I first saw your digital footprint, I think, in Quora itself. When I came to LinkedIn, I have seen almost every industry professional that I admire or academia featured in this space itself. So this is like a huge honor for me to be here. So I'll begin my introduction from where I come from and what experiences that I have for the past 1 or 2 years. So I'm pursuing my bachelor's in business economics honors from University of Delhi, Maharaja Agrasen College, and uh, I started my higher secondary in commerce itself. Switching to that, my family background is I come from a huge line of immigrants. My mother's family is from Bangladesh itself. Then my parents moved to Delhi, which is like one of the biggest privilege that I could have in terms of geography. Almost every opportunity that I got is because of that. And after I completed my 12th, I had the opportunity to do my undergrad in maths, especially in mathematical science and operational research from Deen Dayal Upadhyay College. I chose not to do that because in that small period, I felt I wasn't very comfortable in my skin because I had a speech impediment. No, it would be calling it a stretch. I had a stammer, and I chose to work on that in that small piece of time, right? So I taught guitar. I spend my time in music in that space, and I gave the CUET entrance, which is very popular right now. I gave that again, and I chose my major in business economics. It's like the better parts of BCom and economics honors combined together, right? So you get a lot of finance of the small sides of economics, not the sides that I really wanted to study, but it's fine. I made my bed, right? So I will focus on this interview towards the questions I get in, LinkedIn itself. So the industry experiences that I have for the past 1 year. In my first semester itself, I joined a small market research advisory firm as a market research intern, where I worked in secondary research and data visualization. For almost 2 months, I switched to a PR agency where I got a chance to work with a very good portfolio. One of the biggest portfolio would be the public policy vertical of Google itself. I worked in the sentiment analysis of key opinion formers of Google's. So I gathered data, and after that, I my internship there got cut short because the semester exams got preponed because of the elections. So after that, I worked with a e-commerce startup called Dusan. It works in the home decor space. My profile was very generalist there. I intended to join that startup uh, as a marketing intern, but thanks to the founders itself, I got a chance to get my hands dirty on a lot of things. I started in the marketing department. I switched to their visual merchandising team. Then I worked in their growth team, where because of my team, I had the opportunity to almost onboard a large portfolio of vendors there. After that, I took a little break. I got a chance to work with the e-commerce operation team of Boat. And see, in Dusan, I was in the visual merchandising team, which was like the receiving end of the e-commerce operation. And Boat, I was at the giving end of it. So I used to see because Boat has become so popular. It has grown as category in many ways, in many they have almost like they even have like car batteries. I'm starting to hear, right? So my job was there to gather data and give it to the listing partners of all the quick commerce e-commerce platforms. I was there for 2 months, and currently I am working in the educational space. One of the initiatives of Masters Union called Tetr College of Business. I am working in the marketing team. So I would rather not talk about the work because it's a little confidential and they're planning to do a lot of things in the coming 2 weeks. Besides the industry experiences, I had the opportunity, I still have the opportunity to work with two doctoral scholars from Gokhale Institute of Political Science and Economics. No, I think Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics and NIT Calicut, right? So, and I had the opportunity to work with Anusha Tiwari from Gokhale. Thanks to her, I helped her in literature review in the social constructs of, the how household expenditure is spent on higher education correlating to the consumption. And for Isabella Jones from NIT Calicut, I'm trying to help her gather data in different few parameters uh, in gender inequality itself, right? So, yeah, this is what I have been doing for the past 1 year. And I know it doesn't correlate it to anything from my course itself, but uh, I'm trying to get my hands dirty in different ways that I could. And yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, for the introduction itself.
Well, tell us more. Introduction's good.
Sure,
Tell us more.
definitely. See, I will mostly focus on my experiences because, see, I don't have a lot of interesting things about me. So I will talk about my experiences. When I joined Delhi University, I had a very skewed perception of, colleges. Like if you talk to any student out of the bunch, what Delhi University is, what its demography, tell me about the pedigrees of the college. You will describe it as it's like this North Campus, which is great, there's South Campus, which is good, and there's Off Campus, which is ugly, right? So, this is like how people perceive this. And yeah, but when I came to this place, I found out that it's a very skewed metric to see. I believe there are like five colleges that makes Delhi University. The rest are colleges that are in Delhi itself. I would put that. I know it comes off as a negative connotation. Yeah, it does, but I'll tell you about my experiences. Like whatever endeavor that I have tried to achieve in the past 1.5 years has been almost an uphill battle. It can be in the space of academia, or if I try to make a endeavor in the industry itself. Yeah. So one of the experiences that is, so I'll tell you, in Delhi University, if you are trying to come to Delhi to pursue your graduation for the sake of industry experiences, that's great. For academia, it might be a little disappointing. So that would be one of the reasons. I'll tell you one of the stories, right? I wanted to start a research firm in my college itself, right? So my college is based in Trilokpuri. So if you compare Delhi to Trilokpuri, it would look like the side of Guantanamo Bay, right? So uh, yeah, so in the our metro station is very close to our college, right? And there's a large slum there. So I wanted to see if the children's that they were living in the slum were vaccinated, right? So I had this small perception, like there's a begging spree near that metro station. So I approached my professor. I told him that I want to start a research firm. I want to see the statistics of the immunizations of this kids. I have a couple of friends. Maybe we can go there. We can gather the data. We can analyze it. Maybe we can form a small, social media channel where we can publish it. Maybe we can give it to an NGO and do better with this. So the first the first response that I got from my professor was that I am trying to make my resume shiny. So yeah, and the other perception that I got, the other response that I got from him, that find ways to fund this because it cannot come from me. So that kind of broke my spirit, and yeah. So after that, because of that, I try to approach. See, I really am I'm trying my best to break into the space of public policy or social impact consulting. So that was one of the reasons that I was trying to pull this off. I tried to talk to a GLT member, 180-degree consulting, which is very famous. It is almost in every college, right? So he told me that, see, I will take your application to start a chapter in your college, but the thing is, your college doesn't have an history of social impact to begin with. Your college doesn't have an enactus, which is in every college. What is going on? So I tried to find out what is the scenario. And when I saw what I saw in the demographic of not in my college, but in other colleges itself, NTU, it scared me a little, right? So because of the NEP itself, I'll talk about the NEP a little later on. Maybe I can just talk about the NEP itself. See, the prior to NEP, we had like three subjects which are, mandatory, which we had to study, plus a language. I think maybe probably you had that same in your time in Delhi University itself. Now, because of the NAP, we have like seven subjects right now. The three subjects that extra that we were assigned, they are very attendance compulsory, right? So you have to show up for these subjects to get marks. Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. I hate the part on how these subjects or these courses are assigned to us, right? So I'll tell you the process. Most of the colleges, there's a Google form which gets floating around. Who fills the Google form first gets his, preference of these courses, right? So almost three out of seven courses are selected to you or assigned to you based on the fact that who fills a Google form first. And that's a huge chunk of our CGPA, right? So I really wanted to study philosophy. Right? I was assigned photography. So so forget about that. So, okay, fair. That's very fair. Sure, you're getting assigned three subjects. Maybe the system is trying to bridge some gap. I'll tell you, the thing is, I always wanted to be some level of financially independent, right? So I have that opportunity because of my internships. I get paid good. So, I can afford my education. I don't have to ask for fees from my parents. I can afford my food. I can afford my clothes. Now, I want this, but there are students in Delhi University who need this. I'll tell you a story. There is a student X who has a single mother who is a tailor. To feed his family, he works part-time in Subway, right? Prior to NEP, he could do that. He could work part-time in a Subway. Uh, so he can, bridge that gap in his family, right? Allocates his fund and still have a college life. It would be hard, but it's doable. Now, because of the NEP, I don't think he can. I have talked to these students. See, people will tell you Delhi University is a melting pot of a lot of students. Mostly students from Delhi University itself, they come from different states. Most people of Delhi are immigrants, right? So, so that's one of the factors that I disliked. Now, again, the courses that are assigned to us are very, I wouldn't say weird, but they're not, I don't feel they're academic. I think that's one of the reasons the attendance are so mandatory in this because uh, it it doesn't provide us any sort of skills. Not okay, if not skills, fine. Maybe for the sake of academia they're doing it, but I don't get that. If, for example, if someone wants to learn philosophy, right? I got assigned philosophy, right? I loved philosophy. I can take that course again in the next semester, but that is not possible. That's totally up to the system. I told you, the college assigns us that, right? So again, I am trying to find out what bridge are these people trying to fill, because it's clearly not academic. And how commoditized a degree is right now. Every, degree is so industrialized, right? And people of Delhi University, they see a good college in that metric itself. Which college has founded a better way to commoditize their degree? Which college has a better placement? Those five colleges that I was saying, they have founded a way. Because I'll tell you, because the professors there are very liberal with this, because most of the professors there have worked in that industry. So if I went to a professor in that X college and I told him I have an internship offer right now, I would really like to go, he would probably allow me. And he would, look the other way, not look the other way, but he will probably entertain this request because he knows the importance of that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, again, I'll give you an example. Like, I don't know if you know about this college. There is a college called Shahid Sukhdev. Back then, 5 years ago, nobody, I think, knew about this college. It didn't have a permanent campus because how liberal the professors are there. The students were given a platform to do numerous amounts of things. If you look at the work they are doing, their societies are doing, like they're doing a numerous amount of, corporate tie-ups. They're taking projects, not even in the space of, industry itself. They are taking projects in the space of social impact. They're working with NGOs, right? So yeah, I wished I had that level of freedom, but I found it ways to uh, bridge that gap again, right? So I didn't get the opportunity to work with any professors. Uh, so I found it ways to do that with doctoral scholars from different university. If some student is watching this, I'll tell you if how to do that. Like, go to LinkedIn itself, find any PhD scholar who's very active, who talks about his research. Just DM them. Tell them I am, trying to break through in this field itself. They will probably entertain you. Not even like a doctoral scholar. If you even mail a professor and he is good enough, he will definitely entertain your request. He will take you as a research intern, most probably. But there are like a lot of contingencies from university. But yeah, uh, to bridge the gap in like industry experience, I would tell you, see, if you open an average account of LinkedIn of a DU student, they want to hit the big names like the big four, or they want to work with a conglomerate, right? My advice would be, in the starting sophomore freshman year, try to work with as much as startups that you can. That would be the only place that you can learn something. If you go to a big conglomerate, you will be performing one function and they will trust you with one function itself. You would be an intern, right? But in a startup, the environment is very hectic. They will entertain a lot of requests. They will let you get your hands dirty. How to approach that would be, uh, what I did. I'll tell you. See, there are a lot of micro VCs in India that do the seed round of startups, right? Uh, so just go to their portfolio, see which startup has got a funding recently, right? And these startups are, very active. Even if you mail a founder of these startups, they will definitely respond, right? So that's how I landed, one of my internships in Doosan itself. I was, tracking the portfolio of Sparrow Capital. I saw post there and I did, right. So that would be one of the approaches, right? And yeah, so this is the experience, but this has been my experience. But yeah, I wish there was a level of democracy which, Delhi University used to have, right? Pre NEP, right? Uh, because it seems like a, cheap ripoff of a Western, formulation of course, right? Because in which, a student gets to learn a lot of courses. He gets a lot of freedom academically, right? So that is how I think the NEP was supposed to be structured. The way it's implemented, I don't think it's doing any favor. Like, I feel the measures that are taken in this these universities, that will leave a very large remark for the next decade. Like, people will stop coming to these places in Delhi University, because how strict it has become. It wasn't that, right? So yeah, the quality of students will go from bad to worse, right? So yeah, the gross enrollment rate is already so much low. It's 27% right now. The global average is like 40, I believe. Last I checked. Right. So yeah, this is like one of this is my opinion, right? This might come off as a little negative. If you talk to an average TU student, he will tell you how great of an experience he or she is having in his society, in his college, right? They will never tell you the bad side of it. This is like a very whitewashed bad side of it. I have heard stories where it has gone, very bad for students who have tried to. I will tell you, a batchmate of mine had tried to get an NOC in semester one for an internship. Right, he hasn't got that NOC till now. We are almost about to cross semester four. Do you think a industry professional will wait that long? Right, right. He went to the admissions office. He submitted the letter. That letter went to another guy, then went to the principal. Probably it's sitting on his desk right now. Again, this is okay. This is like the admissions bureaucracy. Now comes to the societies that we are having. Like, probably when you were in St. Stephen's, the society didn't had a lot of funding. Probably the funding was close to nil. That's the case for like most of the DU colleges. Like, time has stopped, and which is, how a society has operates in a tier 2 tier 3 college of DU is, you wouldn't believe. There is a assigned person, then there's a committee, and that committee is assigned to the principal itself. So if you want to at least hung a poster of your society, you have to at least ask four people, right? The people who join these societies, trust me, they come from different states to find friends. Imagine how lonely it can be to come to Delhi, right? And you're trying to make friends, and the people here, like, it gives you an avenue to make the chip on your shoulder bigger. They grill you in ways you can't imagine. They play politics in ways you can't imagine. I'll tell you one of the stories. In SRCC itself, if you want to join the Enactus Society, you cannot pursue a professional course, right? If my friend is, for example, wants to pursue actuarial sciences with his economics degree, she cannot do that because she wants to, join the society. These are the stipulations. See how crazy it is. Like, these are the demands of a fourth semester students. He is pushing these demands on someone who is like a 1 year younger than him. Right? How are you playing these? It's yeah. So that is the situation of SRCC. That's supposed to be the standard. That's something that we look up to, right? Now, the perception of these colleges on different students, yeah, yeah, even like in the industry itself, I'll tell you, the VCs itself, they will not, if you're trying to start a startup, right? And you're trying to raise some funds, they won't even acknowledge your email if you're not coming from a good college, right? It's like gives you a metric of stand, like you will know what you're doing if you're coming from SRCC or IIT, right? So these are like these changes happened so rapidly, like in a matter of year. Is it's very hard to digest, right? I had such a good perception of these colleges when I joined. So yeah, yeah, that's about it. If you want to give us some comment, I most of the interviews that I have, they are very conversational, right? So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pratik. This is a. I'm glad that you have bared your heart out. Okay, this is the whole point of this channel, to give people a
Uh,
chance to talk
yeah,
heart out, which you have done. And you have told us
yes,
that, look, these are the weaknesses that you have encountered, these are the issues. Go ahead.
right. So, uh, if I'm telling you, if you're a dropper, or if you're in 12th, or if you're in a different state, if you're coming to Delhi for the sake of Delhi University, come to these, colleges. I'm not naming those colleges. You know which five colleges that I'm talking about, right? Come to these colleges for the sake of Delhi University. But if you're coming to Delhi University, uh, eventually come for the sake of Delhi itself. Delhi University is Delhi University because because of its geography. It's close to cyber city. Because of the cyber city, I'm talking about Gurugram, right? It has all the heavy players in the industry. Every conglomerate works there. Every startup works there. It's close to that place. So yeah, it gives you an opportunity to work in these places. It's close to Noida. It's close to Okhla, right? It has the startup culture there is good, right? And that's one of the reasons you should come to Delhi. Choose for the place. Choose for the geography itself. I was fortunate enough to be born and brought up in here, right? So yeah, and there are things that's one of the reasons I started uh, a social impact incubator in my college itself. It's called Connecting Dreams Foundation. It has a lot of chapters in Delhi University itself. So back it I tried to start it in the semester one. See, most of the chapters in other universities are fairly old. They have a larger legacy in SRCC, or if you take any other colleges, right? So now they run their flagship projects, which they work with. So, but we are trying to help social entrepreneurs or ventures that, their product lies in the space of social entrepreneurship, right? So, we are trying to build a portfolio towards that. Thanks to, a lot of initiative from my team itself. We are like 4 weeks old. We have onboarded two clients as of now. And these are, I'm very proud of that, right? And thanks to Connecting Dreams Foundation itself, I'll tell you the MOU of that has not been, pushed towards the college itself, in my college itself. So this is like one of the initiatives that Connecting Dreams Foundation, let us pursue, right? And they were cool with that fact that, you are a student who wants to break into the space of social impact, right? And it's really hard to build a portfolio if you want to break into the space of social impact consulting or public policy. So yeah, you that the information is so restricted. Like if someone I'll give an example. If you're a first semester student, what would be the perfect route to break into the space of public policy? Uh, just email the MLA offices that are there. Delhi is a large hub for these political spaces. In the budget rounds, they usually hire a lot of interns. So you will get to work with their team itself. That would be like one of the breakthroughs that you can build your portfolio towards working in the space of public policy, right? In the social impact consulting, if you have a very old legacy societies, either in Actus 180-degree consulting, right? You can pick up projects with NGOs. You can, even build a flagship project of yourself. You can build these kind of things to, at least get one step out of the door to build your portfolio towards these ways. But, the rigidity of the university has gone from bad to worse, that I had a skewed perception that the students are very lazy of these off campus colleges or south campus colleges. They usually don't do these stuffs, right? But when I came to this place, I learned it's like half of the story. A lot of things are happening internally, right? You won't get any recognition if it's not tied to a professor, right? So You won't get a research opportunity if you're in the university itself, if your CGPA is not high enough. And yeah, uh, if your professor doesn't like you, he wouldn't, entertain any of your requests. Like, so yeah, this is, this, there's a lot of good things about Delhi University itself, right? There's a reason why people choose this over a lot of private university. And you probably know I wouldn't have to sell Delhi University to you. You know how great it is, the legacy it has, the alumni network it has, right? So yeah, I believe these changes needs, a level of attention, because these will play a very large role in the next 5 years. And I really feel people will stop coming to that place. I don't want my college, I don't want the quality of the students to, go bad, right? So, this is like a try for help. No, probably not. Yeah. So yeah, these are the things that, these are the experiences that I've faced, right? So to tackle these things, I'll tell you how you should go about it. I'm not telling you follow my footsteps, but these have worked for me. My ideally, you what you can do is gain a little bit of financial independence. Would be, yeah, financial independence. That can be through internships, or maybe you're good at a skill. Prior to, my internships, I used to teach guitar. If not that, you can just tutor students. At least show your parents that there's a, you can get you can be financially liable, right? It gives a hope to your parents, right? He knows what he's doing. So when things go from bad to worse, you can take the risks. Like, most of the students in Delhi University are very young, and you should you should take risks. I will tell you, if you don't like your course and if you are somewhat financially independent, you can just drop out. You can join another university, because you're paying for that degree itself. And I'm sure your parents wouldn't question you if you're that responsible of a guy or a gal, right? So yeah, that would be one avenue. Another avenue would be, talk to people. There probably is, and there's a lot of people and there probably a lot of people out there who think like you, right? Make friends, keep your circle small, right?
Yeah.
That would be another avenue. I wouldn't be able to survive my college if it wasn't for one of my friends, Siddhant, right? He had said almost yes to any of my ideas that I pushed in. I see Connecting Dreams Foundation was like, out of four, it was one thing that came true. We applied for four societies, right? So one of the societies were from Shahi Sukhdev itself, right? So it was called FMA. I'll tell you the whole story, right? It was FMA, their convener. Uh, he was so helpful. He even wanted to come to my college and explain it to my professors, what we do, how long this chain goes, the alumni network of FMA has. Uh, I didn't went anywhere. They wanted to set up a committee and they wanted the members from their department. So the people who are founding it wouldn't be in it in the first place. So yeah, so sure, fine, that's in the past, right? So yeah, you will face these things if when you come to Delhi University, if your college doesn't have a lot of pedigree in terms of, as I said, if your college is not commodified to that extent, right? So be ready for that and don't get sidelined with anything. Just be resilient, just be a little active in social media. So when I say social media, I mean to say LinkedIn. There are a lot of opportunities there, right? I even got to be in the interview itself because I was active on LinkedIn, right? So yeah, yeah, that's if please, if you want to add something, right?
No,
I would appreciate.
I'm glad that you have told us very passionately,
Yeah,
very clearly
yeah,
your
it's yeah, whatever I
your
said.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're telling us the truth as you see it, and I think it's a very valuable uh, information that you are giving us. That look, some places it works, and some places it's difficult to work, and some barriers are there which can come in your way. But you also said that if you are clever, you can find some ways around it, and
right,
creative,
right,
you can find some ways around it. So it is not a it's a story of barriers and obstacles, but somehow
right,
you
right, right,
found a way to climb over those barriers and obstacles. Some of them, not all of them, some of them are insurmountable, can't be changed, but you have to. Well,
right,
it's in a way a very positive story because what it shows is that when you faced certain unexpected challenges, you didn't just give up. Okay. You
right.
didn't give up in the face of unexpected and unreasonable challenges, okay, and
Yes.
barriers. You said, well, okay, if this is the way it is, then I'm going to do it my way. Still,
Yeah,
I'm still going. So I'm glad that you have said it, and it's a very
because
courageous approach.
because see, there are universities who have implemented NEP in a good way. I'll give you an example. There's a private university called Ashoka University. The how they have structured and designed the NEP, it works. It works very you know amazingly. In their first till their third semester, you have to study almost every subject. Right? In the third semester, you have to declare your major and minor. And that is such a liberal way to design that course itself. It is not skewed towards any favoritism, or the first come first serve thing which we are facing, right? And I know it's a private university, and uh, Delhi University is it is funded by taxpayers, right? That is one of the reasons I am raising these queries, because it's funded by the taxpayers, right? So uh, that's yeah, that's the thing. I wish the other colleges, the other 40, 45, 50 colleges were more liberal, because there are students here who have lot of potential, but their hope dies in the beginning of the second semester itself, right? What can I do? My professor won't let me do anything. My college won't let me do anything. To do anything, I have to play these games. To get a level of recognition, I have to do these things. And see, a lot of interviews that I saw from your channel itself, these students will never raise these queries. It's it feels bonkers to me. Why are they are not talking about this? It's happening in front of me. Why are they, every interview I've seen of a young person from Delhi University itself have prepared a testimonial which is, so clean and flashy. They're not giving an unfiltered opinion. Their words are not even, stammering. It's they've prepared the whole thing from scratch to end, like they're painting this flashy picture of this place. It's not, it's really not. You have to you know work a lot. You have to walk a lot of extra miles, otherwise you will get the shorter end of the stick here, right?
Yeah,
But that's the deal with deal itself. We have made the bet, we have to say in it. So yeah, about the good things in Delhi University itself, you will get to meet a lot of people. That's one of the best things here, right? You wouldn't stay in one circle, in like you were in school or other colleges. Like in Bangalore, there is a proper clique there, but in Delhi University, it's a proper melting pot. Uh, every college, people immigrate from different states to study here, because it's supposed to be held for the highest standard, right? And yeah, you try to meet a lot of people. You will make some really good friends, and give this place a time. I know whatever I said might come off, it seems uh, whatever, but that's what I'm trying to paint, right? You will face a lot of stuff when you will come to this place, right? So just find a way to deal with it, and yeah, move forward. there's a reason a lot of successful people come from this place, because it makes people who they are, right? So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pratik. It's a pleasure to listen to you today.
Thank you so much.
And let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person, but before I do that, as usual, I want to give you the final word.
uh Final word would be, yeah, see, I want to end it in a motivational note, right? There is always someone who had it worse and done it better. Live by that rule. There will always be someone who had it worse and done it better.
Okay.
So yeah, on that note,
Fine.
I would like to end.
Okay, let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person or an expert. Don't go away. I want to talk to you a little bit offline. So, bye, everybody.